Alright, you guys, so as you just seen, that's the code to get into this aim trainer. I'm gonna try to explain the HUD icon thing that I was talking about on my previous video. If you haven't seen it, it's my settings video. Um, I'm gonna try to explain it the best way I possibly can because this is how my brain is able to understand it. I don't know if I can explain it um any better for people. I'm going to try my hardest. Like I'm literally gonna try. If you have any question, just ask, and I'll try to like type it out. But yeah, just give it a try. I'm not even gonna lie. Let's just let's just get into it. All right. So you're gonna go to display. Go over to your HUD icons. This is called your aim-based icons opacity. Okay, the best way to explain this entire section is some people you don't have to touch it. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to touch it. This basically deals with your aim assist, snapping on targets, how sticky something is, uh, applied to your actual settings. Like on these, it applies to all of these. This stuff gets really nerdy and it gets really nerdy really fast. So I'm gonna try to explain it. So you have the opacity of the peripheral zone size. Peripheral just means left and right. It's just a big word for horizontal. Okay? Adjust the size of the zone where icon opacity will be affected. Affected means will snap onto or will aim to, based on how close they are to the center of your screen. The opacity at the edge of the outside zone will be what the value is set. Alright, so at 56%. So it's saying aim based. So it's already sticking to this person right here. Even with my applied aim assist that I do have, which is at like a 60, it's even stronger. It's even stronger. So technically, yeah, I think the default's like 50 or it's like 40 or something like that. I didn't up it too much. I put it at 100, and honestly, you end up fucking honestly, you start overshooting things, or you start looking real snappy. It kind of looks weird. I mean, unless you can play like that. I don't recommend it. Okay. So 0% means there would be no scaling, meaning that it's doing absolutely nothing. 50% means it's doing half of it. 100% meaning that it's really trying to grab everything in your peripheral, like everything to your left and right, like this freaking pole. If I'm standing right here and there are two characters to my left and to my right, it's gonna be so strong that on my top of my aim assist, I can't even do it. Like it's gonna be too strong. It's pulling it too much. So you're actually trying to hmm balance it to where I can hit two targets. Like if I turned that up a little bit more, I would actually snap to his body even quicker. I can actually give you an example. So 56.5. I'm gonna turn my zone size up to 60. Like you saw, it just snapped straight to him, right there. Like it's doing that by itself. That's like the perfect, most reasonable example I can give. Think of it like a radius. Yeah, think of it like a radius. Like the peripheral zone size is like a radius. It's like a motion on your red dot. And like it's so strong. It's like it's strong. So I mean, check that out. Uh, that's one way to explain that. Anyway, I just got fucking assassinated by an AI bot. That's how you know you get mad at me. Anyway, um, scaling size. This one is hard as fuck for me to explain, but uh, it's basically half of this. So it's like half, like 60 divided by 2, you know? And you just want to half it. But honestly, just turn this shit down. It's how big the target is. How big you want this shit to snap onto. It's how big this target is. That's all that shit is. The bigger the target. So you can see it's pulling. You see it's pulling like that. These settings it's really some nerd shit to understand. I'm trying my best here, guys. I'm not gonna lie. You leave the opacity peripheral That's default. Do not touch this one. If you touch this one, it fucks up this one, and then you guys sit here and do all your values. Really, just these two, 100%. Don't ever touch that one. Do not touch that. I'm telling you, do not touch that. Do not touch it. Central is just what it says. Adjust the icons present at the center of the screen. So if this was horizontal, this is basically, you can say vertical, but it's the center. It's like your red dot. It's your red dot. That's all this is. It's just your red dot. I think the default is like 40 on that. I didn't really touch it too much. Everything with peripheral I basically did because I feel like I have pretty good pretty good vertical control, which is like your recoil vertically, up and down. So I usually did everything peripheral, horizontal, left and right. Um, this is like the other one's a radius. This is kind of like, damn, I don't know how to explain it. I'm such a nerd, but I can't think of words right now. It's like a steady aim. Nah, yeah, it's kind of like steady aim, I guess. Like, like how so you got the radius, which is, the motion that something's inside of your screen and is picking up the radius of it, so it's snapping to it. This is kind of like steady aim in the center of your screen, so you don't like overshoot. I don't know how to explain it, guys. It's just really nerdy. My brain works like it, so I can like see it when I shoot. Like when I'm shooting, I can just see it. Like I'm just a nerd, so I don't know how else to explain it, honestly. Um, yeah. Anyway, zoomed is aiming down sight. Throw this at 100, but offset this. So these two need to be offset. So one is your aim down sight. Put it like that. Zoomed is aim down sight. So I want that at 100. So when I do zoom in, it's snapping. Blah blah blah. Center scaling. Zoomed in. I think 20 is the perfect value. I dropped it recently, but I think 20, because it's doing a half of this. These two are like halved. So adjust the size zone where the icons will be affected, where the icons will be snapped onto how close they are to the center of your screen. Opacity at the edge of the outside zone. So this is a percentage of the size of the peripheral zone zoomed. So these two are like father and son right here. So put this at 100, and then half of that I put it at 20%. It works out pretty fire. I'm not gonna lie. Icon peripheral zoom. Once again, these are both aim down sights. Um, how much of a radius do you want when it's aim down sights, and how much do you want to prevent it from overshooting? This is all this stuff is. That's the best way I can explain it because I can't. My brain just sees it. I don't know how to. My brain just sees it. It's weird. So like, it's just like it's really sticky. But this is just little stuff. And like I said, this actually applies to your overall settings. So it's like you'll do this and then you feel like, oh, it messed it up. It's not that it's messed up. It's that these settings are applied on top of the settings. Like I have like forever changing settings. Like these stuff, this applies to this. It applies to this. It applies to this. It applies to your acceleration. It applies to your soldier zoom sensitivity. It applies to all of that. So it's like It's a lot of nerdy stuff to take in the part. But that's the best way I can explain it. I hope it helped. If not, I'll probably shut the fuck up and never do it again. But yeah. Yeah. All right, you guys. Sweat. Have a good one.